That's what we're doing. All right.
Hello,
Great.
welcome to Lawal Love again. We're back.
I feel like now yours is brighter than mine.
It is what it is. I hate when this comes up like this.
Yeah, you
All right. So, I mean, what were we going to talk about?
So today we're going to talk about how sometimes God or the universe or whatever
you believe in
conspires to bring you together. And I know that may not be true for every couple's story, but that's true for ours, right? You would say.
Yeah.
Okay. So initially when we first met, it was at a bar on Main Street that's not there anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah.
And we then talked, and then we kind of lost to the other side. We lost. We didn't stay in touch.
Yeah, not at all. Because it wasn't that serious.
No, yeah. I was 20.
It was. The connection was there when we first met, but it really wasn't that serious.
Yeah, we weren't looking to settle down or anything like that. So then we ran into each other again. You like our new robes, guys?
Oh yeah, we got new robes. I'm feeling fabulous.
Comfy time. They feel like a hug. They're great. Yeah. So we ran into each other again because my friend Shannon was going to hang out with somebody you knew, and we just had I was thinking about that now. And we just happened to bump into each other.
Yeah,
we just happened to bump into each other. So then we hung out again, and we started hanging on and off.
On and off.
Yeah, on and off.
But it was really that Atlanta trip that brought us together, though. When I went away, that brought us together even closer.
When you went away?
Yeah, when I went to Atlanta.
Yeah, because then we were kind of forced to make an effort.
Yeah.
Because there was no way I was bumping into you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I think, you don't think so?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. But I mean, I feel like it was a lot of, I don't know, you could say it, God, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. I feel like that there was a force guiding us to be with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it took a long time for us to
to get it. But it was good long time because the gestation period because I feel like in relationships, I mean, we always had a mental connection. So we always talked a lot. So we got to know each other. So it wasn't all bang bang. It wasn't just a physical relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was just more you became my friend at that point. I needed you more.
As a friend, yeah.
As a friend, you know what I'm saying?
True. So I think another way, even the whole being left at Chipotle jail incident, that definitely, I feel was the God and universe screaming at us, right? That we kind of need to meet each other. Yeah, because everything that happened, me leaving my phone at work, just little things that happened that nobody planned to happen, but it just happened. And if you don't know the Chipotle story, then you can look at another video. Yeah. So then after that, once you moved here, then things always lined up for us. Every house we've gotten since we've gotten houses together or apartments or whatever has always had a 1 and a 3 in the address, every single one. And we didn't even notice that until this house.
Until we bought the house, that we live in now. So every house that we lived in, the number on the address always had a 1 and a 3 in it. Either 731, 831, 713.
First it was 713. 713, 132.
Yep.
And 831.
831 and now 311. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that was weird because we weren't consciously trying to do that. We just noticed that that's weird. Why does that keep happening?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's mellifluous.
Conscious language. Yeah. So, one thing I think that we want to share is we really believe in that if you
I'm into numerology too, so of course I'm definitely into that, the logic and the numbers and stuff like that.
So one thing that we really understand is how the universe or God conspires to make you understand things or see things.
Absolutely. Because the sign. I'm sorry.
Yes, you're being terrible right now.
You're coming down my lane. You coming down my lane.
Okay, because you talk none at all. Let me finish one thought. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So if you do not listen, so try to pay attention, because if you do not listen, it only gets louder. If you can think of times in your life where you think that you should have done something, and then every time you didn't do it, something kind of you made it more prominent that it's what you should be doing, right? So go ahead, babe. I know you're just buying your time.
I was just waiting for you to make sense of what you were saying.
That didn't make sense? No, you didn't. I didn't bring it home. No.
Nah, you did
I'll try again in a second.
Yeah, it's all right. That's why I was like, it's my lane. But yeah, the signs are all around you. Like when I went to Atlanta, that's when I opened up to numerology. And it's like, as soon as I started studying it, it's like my whole world, my eyes just went boom. Like everything just opened up. You know what I'm saying? Then you go back in your past and you go back and relive your memories and see how, that energy has always been there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So even like looking at the numbers on the houses, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I always looked at the numbers on the houses and added them up and reduced them down to a single number. And 11 was always there too. Like, because 831, 713, all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it's just paying attention to the signs, because the signs are there. But if you're always stressed out, if you're always preoccupied with maybe like social media or just distractions or playing games, and you're not really within yourself to hear the signs, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get them, you know. But I'm here for you. If you need me, you know what I'm saying, you can just DM me. Or there's that DM is whatever, Instagram. But you can message me, inbox. You could, you know what I'm saying, tell me what's going on in your life, and I can help you with that too. Because everybody's going through something in their life. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And numerology is just an influence that like we're under. So if you understand the influences that are happening, then they can help you understand like what season you're in.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Right.
Once you know, I mean, you can actually conquer whatever you're dealing with. Once you have insight of what you're dealing with, because you might know what you're dealing with, but to put it into concrete words and then say, all right, this is what you're dealing with and this is how you can overcome it, because you probably have a sense of how to overcome it, but it's easier if you have somebody outside of you to reaffirm that for you. You know what I mean?
Another thing that I was thinking
spooky
is that that like our being out of sync. So like one thing that numerology kind of like
helped us with
helped you deal with it. I really wasn't sold at the point. But we were like out of sync 2 years ago, like in October. So like October we got back in sync. And it was horrible.
It was pretty bad.
It was so bad. I was like, where did my best friend go? It was so rough. I was like, if this is gonna be the next 40 years of my life, I can't do this. I like started seeing a counselor because I have tons of issues. Everyone should see a counselor. But I started seeing a counselor and I was like, listen, it's so hard. You know what I mean? Like, and John would be like, oh, and we'll be back in sync in October. Like, and I used to be so annoyed by that because I'm like, yeah, but like, what about right now? So, but he was right. Like in October, it was like instant shift. But I think a lot of couples go through those cycles and they don't realize that like that's what they're in. You know
like
what I'm saying?
Storm, like the bad, when everything's just like, yo, what happened?
Like, who is this person?
Yeah, so if people don't know what out of sync means, because that's just like out of sync, what does that mean? All right,
we just explained it.
Yeah, so out of sync is basically like it's like if you're out of sync with somebody.
Oh, okay, that was so helpful.
Yes. All right, hold up. If you're out of sync with somebody, right? So like even how we are now, we playful, we cheering, but when we're out of sync, it's not that. It's more like, yo, I'm gonna do my thing, and everything that we would interact with each other, we took it personal instead of like, oh, it's cooperation. So that's how we were out of sync. You know what I'm saying? And everything we did, like I worked like crazy. I wasn't even home a lot. Mm-hmm. And that benefited us because if we were around,
I had a new baby, so
and you had a new baby, and it benefited us because if we were around each other, it was fights
worse.
all the time.
Oh, fights
I remember I was going to work. You know what I'm saying? We arguing, we just going back and forth.
I don't even remember what the argument was about. It was so stupid.
It's crazy. So we going back and forth, and then she dropped me off at work, and I'm just like so mad. She's like, what you gonna do? Hit me? You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me?
No, I didn't say, are you gonna hit me? I said, do you want to hit me?
Oh, do you want to hit me?
You want to hit me? Because that's how mad he seemed.
And I was just like,
because you hit the steering wheel.
Because I was like, boom, boom, and I hit the steering wheel because I'm like, because I don't hit women at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just hit the steering wheel.
So you want to hit me? That's what I said.
So I hit the steering wheel, and I was like it was crazy because I'm like, yo, like what's going on? You know what I mean? But then I always like I forget the numerology and just live my life. And then I come back to it and be like, oh, snap, that's what we're going to. Remember, that's what you're going through. Like, have an objective view of what you're going through subjectively, so you won't be carried away in the currents. You'll have an anchor to come back to and be like, all right, this is what I'm going through. Maintain my mind, you know what I'm saying, in my future.
So we're ready for the next one.
Yeah, so we're definitely ready, and we know how to navigate through it.
We're gonna be as prepared as possible.
Yeah, and we see it. We also see it in other couples too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Some of your friends are going through it right now. You know what I'm saying. A couple of your friends are going through it right now.
Just my friends.
I mean, I have friends that went through it too.
And some of my friends are also your friends.
Yeah. So some of our friends are going through it right now, and we see it, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to explain,
to articulate. Yeah.
Yeah, to articulate it, because people like, what are you talking about? Like, right?
It can be a little weird for people.
Yeah, it can be, but like when. It's like if they're open to it and they hear us out, they hear the truth in it.
Because think about if you get a divorce from your husband because you are gonna out of sync for 3 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using that time to grow as a person individually yourself, and your spouse do the same. And as a couple, too,
and you're still growing that time.
Yeah, and instead of taking that time to grow and learn what it's like to be that type of couple, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a divorce. You know what I'm saying?
And then years later,
you're back in sync.
When you're back in sync, you be like, oh my God,
why did we ever end this?
Everything is so good, so flowery, so fluffy. But really, you just got back in sync. Like, right, that's you're, I mean, you got family. Yes, I know. I'm not going to say the days. But that happened to them, and they were out of sync, and I was like, yo, what's your birthday? I was like, okay. I'm not going to say. See, I'm like Merlin, son. I'm like the wizard. You know, I'm like the sorcerer. I'm the sorcerer supreme. And this right here is Master Excellence. I call her my Master Excellence. You know what I'm saying? Right. Well, that's just what we do. We just be clowning and shit. We are. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I am the sorcerer, though. I'm like a chemist and all that. I be whipping up my potions and stuff. Yeah.
The whole point of this is to tell our story, but through our story to help other people, like, with their story, right? So, like, that's why I always try to bring it back. We have fun, but I try to bring it back. That, like, if you are going through something like with your significant other where it may seem like you guys are not on the same page like you normally are, then take that time to, you know what I'm saying, develop skills as a couple of ways to connect when it isn't so easy.
But I mean, it's just very hard.
It is because even when we were out of sync, but like, you can also grow as an individual.
Yes, you can. But stuff that you would say to me, like, I would take it personal instead of like.
But maybe then that I shouldn't have. What I'm saying is I should have approached you in a way that is different. Learned a new way to approach you.
But see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you're out of sync, things that were natural to you, you think is natural. So you should
learn a new way.
I'm talking. So things that are natural to you, right? When you're out of sync, you're gonna think that is natural, but it's just gonna come off differently because you're out of sync. And how you're thinking.
So what do you think people should do then, since you have all the answers?
I don't have all the answers.
Well, you sure don't like mine.
I'm not saying.
That is what you just said. That is what you just
said. What I say?
You said no. Like, you just totally shut me down.
No.
I didn't say. Started talking on.
I didn't say I didn't like the answers. I didn't want you to interrupt me in my.
I was talking and then you interrupted me, and then you went off on something.
Go ahead.
Listen, all I'm saying is like that it's an opportunity because everything's an opportunity.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So pick your head up.
But that shit was tough. Like, what? It was tough. Like, I worked a lot. I wasn't even at the house a lot. You know, I was like, we like to do stuff together. But when we were out of sync, normally when we were out of sync, I was just like, man, I can't get away. I can't wait to get away from you.
I know,
like,
right? Yeah.
It was
maybe you should do that.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just like the feeling was mutual.
That's hilarious.
It was like that, but it was also like, man, I wish I had someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're normally my person to talk to. So, like, and I didn't want to talk to you.
And I started to indulge in the pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? But that's over now. I don't need that. So,
thank God.
I'm the sorcerer now. I did all that. I have elevated to another level. You know what I'm saying?
Holistic remedies.
Word.
To stress. But, no, so what I mean is, like, you always want to talk about it, so I'm trying to, like, make it a general sense.
Go ahead,
you know what I mean? And try to, like, take what we've lived through. Mm-hmm. Because we'll be married 5 years in December, which I think we've already said.
Word.
And so to be married 5 years and 2 of those years you were out of sync is, like, that it seemed like extreme for me. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, is this what marriage is? And I had a new baby, so it was like super overwhelming. So I think if you can kind of have all the tools that you need, like if it's numerology or if it's astrology,
whatever, or God or the Bible, or
anything
or
that you can turn to,
name,
or all of those
spirituality,
things.
Period.
Really,
spirituality.
You should combine them all because they all affect your life. Like, God is the maker of all things, so that means that He had a hand, or she, or whatever you believe it is, had a hand in all of those things, right? Giving us all of those things: numerology, astrology, essential oils, everything. So you can use all of them. and it doesn't have to go against, you know, like what you believe. But if you use those things and they can help you through a hard time with your spouse, and so that your relationship doesn't have to end, I say, like, go for it, right? Don't you think? No?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Are you here?
Are you feeling better? That's Auntie Nessa. Shout out Auntie Nessa.
Yeah. I was not feeling well yesterday. It was a rough time, so people are checking on me.
Yeah. You were not feeling well.
No, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. But he stepped up, right? So that was good.
Yeah, I do my thing. It wouldn't be well. If we were out of sync. That shit would be horrible.
That would have been hard.
It'd have been horrible. You know what I'm saying? But I think we should go. I think we had a good episode. We have to go because I don't know how long we've been on.
We're trying to make these shorter, so.
Yeah, so we don't waste your time because I don't like wasting my time at all. For real.
Yeah, okay. So.
Sorcerer don't like to waste his time.
All right.
All right.
Just say goodbye.
All right. Peace, happy life, happy wife, happy life.
A happy husband, one for nothing. You
Peace.
sure though.